Bicycles have always been a symbol of freedom. They're almost free to buy, free to ride, and almost free to maintain. But the biking universe is changing. It's changing to become even more practical, more useful for more people. With an electric bike, you can ride further with less effort. But as the technology develops, as it happens with many other products, it gets more complex and more integrated and harder to repair. And then, is it a symbol of freedom anymore? And is it even yours if you can't repair it? Or maybe you can for a few hundreds of euros? I think the world needs an open source e-bike mid-drive and battery set. I aim to design and build one that costs a fraction of a new one, that is cheap and easy to maintain, and it's of comparable quality and features to a commercial unit. This is what this project is about. When starting a new project, there's always so much to learn. For this version, I just want to make something that works, test and learn about the mechanisms of an e-bike mid-drive. I'll start by using this motor from an old angle grinder that doesn't work very well anymore, but the motor seems to work well, so I'll try it. For this version, I'm aiming for it to be able to ride at 25 kilometers per hour without needing to pedal, and also to be able to pedal without needing the motor. I also made some updates to the Trike with big results. I used to have a big turning radius, but with some small changes to the steering, now I have a super tight turning radius. I'll show you about that. But first, let's talk about the mid-drive. My frame holds a Bosch mid-drive, so I'm designing the open source one with the Bosch fitting. The biggest constraints for the design are the motor, the position of the pedals, and the fitting to the frame. I want the motor to be able to drive the crank wheel without the pedals having to move, and for this I'm using a clutch bearing. It rotates freely in one direction, but not in the other. I'm making as much 3D printed stuff as I can for this project. This part is the one that will be driven by a belt connected to the motor. And I'm really happy about this detail. I designed it to hold the wheel from a bike cassette, and then I just secure it with a nut. The clutch bearing goes inside. It's a press fit. And a normal bearing on the outside. This one has to be secured with the circlip.
I'm on a mission, I'm paying dues, I'm in position, I'm staying up. Good, I'm doing great, recognition, I'm on a mission, I'm paying dues, I'm in position, I'm staying up. It's getting late, you're doing good, I'm doing great. Hours of practice, they don't feel like working. Overthinking, I don't mean to let the pain.
I'm connecting the motor directly to a 12-volt battery, and I realize it's not capable of getting the bike to move unless the wheel is in the air. and the wires and the motor are getting so hot. But I'm gonna test it anyway and push the bike, connect the battery and see if I can maintain momentum. But yeah, it doesn't. Even with the motor connected, it slows down and everything is so hot. So back to the workshop. Well, here's the second iteration. There are a few improvements. One, I pushed the motor a little bit inside, or I pushed the whole design to the right so that there isn't so much of it sticking out, and we can use pedals this time, at least to start the trike, so that the motor doesn't have to do all the work to start. And yeah, the axle was designed to use pedals. And the other thing was with the tensioner here. The other was doing a lot of force in the belt. Now it seems more smooth. So I think now it just runs more easily. Let's see. When I apply 12 volt to the motor, it's pulling 50 amp, so more than 500 watt, and that's still not enough to make it move from standstill. So I hope with the pedals I can get it moving, and then the motor can hold on from there. Well, it's working better. I think I can sustain motion after I push it forward, but I think the clutch bearing is not working. Alright, I need to check that out. Interesting about the clutch bearing, it is its fault. It's supposed to roll on one side and grab to the other, but I can just grab it and it doesn't grab it. And I tested, I printed a bunch of things, but here's the interesting find. Testing with an aluminium cylinder, what I see is that now it's the smoothest. It always grabs the axle in one sense and always rotates as you want on the other sense. So why is it? Why is it that I can't make the clutch bearing work with the plastic axle? I don't know actually. Anyway, so I think what I'm gonna do now is have the axle fabricated in aluminium. And here it is. I just received it and it looks beautiful now. Actually had it made of stainless steel because I don't have good experience with aluminium axles. I ordered it from Jiga. You get direct access to a vetted network of manufacturers, and the request for quote is pretty simple. You submit the part and submit any extra instructions you may have, the threads in my case. Then you choose your process and choose materials and you get some quotes. I quoted aluminium too, but I chose steel in the end. And it's super easy to communicate via messaging with the manufacturer. I like that you have one point of accountability from quote to delivery. It all runs through one person. I think this will work. I tried with clutch bearing already. Fits super snug and rotates freely in one direction, but the other grabs the axle, just like I wanted. Yeah, this will work. Thank you Jiga for supporting this project. Check out the link to their website in the description. Let's put this in. Here we go again. Alright, let's see if this is the one. But just before the tests, I'll give you an update on the Trike build. Two things. First, I made the cargo area. It has a hard layer of wood and then a layer of cork to be more resistant to the weather and prettier maybe as well. And now I can do tests with cargo. Previously I was also carrying cargo, though it was not very convenient, but I did it anyway. But now I can really do cargo tests. As of this moment, this is fully capable of carrying one full bottle of red wine. You put it in the box, close the lid, and the wine will arrive safely to its destination. Now, this will need thorough testing. The second update is the steering. In my last version, the steering was quite wide, so with a wide turning radius, and I did small changes that really improved it. Now I can do a super tight turn, so turn around in a row that is just over the length of the trike, and yeah, just super tight. So let me explain to you about the changes that I did to the steering. So this is how it is now, and this is how it was before. Before, the steering points in the center were wider and with a smaller circle. So what happens? See, as it steers, the inner wheel has a lot of horizontal range and the outer wheel has just a little bit of horizontal range, thus making the turning ability of the outer wheel much smaller. Now, as I increase the size, I increase the lever, but even more important, the steering points are much close together, so the horizontal range is similar to both. I updated the CAD drawings with a new steering. You can find a link in the description. So let's get back to the drive unit tests. So now the problem is that the clutch bearing is just slipping inside of the housing. I tried gluing and it didn't work, and I'm pretty desperate, so I ended up grinding a trace in the clutch bearing and put bolts in the housing to hold it, and yeah, that didn't work as well. So I got even more desperate and ended up disregarding the clutch bearing and put a hole in the axle, just to be able to use the pedals to gain speed and see the motor pulling at higher speeds. And now there's a new problem. This plastic thing that holds the crank wheel broke. So yeah, back to the shop, I disassemble it. I print one that I think it's stronger, and let's try it. This is the one, it has to be.
Falta-te um bocadinho assim.
I'm gonna call it on this design. This just always breaks. Yeah, I do know that this design is flawed since 5 tests ago, but I did continue testing to explore the extent of the flaws. And you do get so much perspective. The torque that goes into the crank is really something, and easy to calculate. Torque is equal to the force that you put into the pedal times the length of the crank arm. That's why it's expressed in Newton meter. Force, Newton, times distance, meter. So my crank arms are 170 millimeter long, I weigh 75 kilogram, so if I'm standing in the pedal, I'm applying 125 Newton meter of torque in the crank. But what does this mean, 125 Newton meter of torque, right? Is it a lot? Is it not much? There's all the testing to put things into perspective. For instance, I made this tool more than a year ago, and I used the same method to secure the cranks, and it just still works. It's just that the torque is nowhere near. It's also interesting to see how I connect the battery and it applies 500 watts to the motor and the bike doesn't even move. Well, that's because this brushed DC motor doesn't have much starting torque. It's made for an angle grinder, which you start in open load, and when it's at maximum speed, then you apply the load. Even with a motor that is gonna have a good starting torque, I think the gear ratio is gonna have to be about 100 to 1. Well, can't wait to start the next version and taking you along in the process, if you want. But I do have 2 questions for you to help me proceed. 1. How do you secure the clutch bearing to the housing? They're both perfectly round. Is just a press fit, or do you use some glue? Let me know. And the second question is, what features would you like to see in the open source drive unit? This will take a while, we'll do many iterations and learn little things and big things, but this will go somewhere, so let me know. And finally, I'm sharing some files. First, the drawings of the drive unit. Of course, this isn't a working drive unit, but maybe it's useful for you to get something like the fitting of a Bosch drive unit or something. Second, there's a list of components that I'm sharing. I think sometimes by the end of the project it's nice to know the cost that it was to make something like this. In my case, I bought bearings, a shaft, pedals, 3D printed stuff, and you can get the links to the components here as well. Third, I'm sharing the updated files of the Trike steering, so if you want to see that, together with the explanation that I did. With this change, the Trike has now a super tight turning radius, so there it is. And that's it. I hope this was a positive thing. See me next time.